am not for building that new facility. If some of you don't know, I'm not really looking for a job. I have a job and I'm looking to do a job for Baltimore City. Now the Justice Center, Juvenile Justice Center, has most of my employees there running it. And I can tell you, it's overrun and it's crowded and it needs a lot. But I don't know why we always have to change things. And let me tell you why I say that. I've been around long enough to know that police boys clubs helped when I was growing up. You could go there, you could play, we had recreation centers, we had the YMCA, we had things that youngsters could do. And that's wonderful. We need to do that again. Now, you can't convince me that jail will rehabilitate young people. I think jail teaches them to be better criminals. So we can't do that. We must take our youth and partner them with people. Now, I would like to see the auxiliary police come back, and most of you out there may be too young to know about that, but we had policemen, auxiliary policemen that went with the police in the neighborhoods, but they knew all of the people in the neighborhood, knew where the bad people were, and knew how to straighten things out. Well, as you know, education begins where? At home, with the parents. So we have to encourage the parents to become more involved in the activity of the children at school. Now, I hear people talk all the time that are running for public office. They tell you about all of the education they have. You know, but I've met a lot of educated fools in my life. So I don't know whether that education is a thing. Because I think we ought to think about vocational schools where people that are not equipped for biotech and today's kind of labor force, where they can learn how to do things with their hands. Now, some people laugh at me when I tell them, but it's an art form to driving a nail. If you don't believe so, work on a construction site and try to drive nails all day and see if you don't bend them up and knock the heads off of the nails and whatnot. There's an art to that. And we need more vocational schools so our children can become interested in that. Everyone can't do the electronic stuff that people are doing in school today. And then we need to give the principals of the school more power to get the bad children out of that school so people can get into a learning situation. You cannot learn in school when there's trouble there. I'm vehemently opposed to 300 new police. It makes no sense to me because we can take that money that is being paid 300 policemen and give some people some jobs. What is driving crime in our city is lack of occupations for people. It's jobs, jobs, jobs. They're the main three things that we need. And without jobs, people are going to commit crime. Now, when people are working, they come home, they clean up, they might eat some dinner, they might talk to the children, talk to their sweetheart or wives, and then they go to bed because they got to get up the next day and go to work. They don't hang out on the corners. No, we don't need 300 new police. Why don't we stop them from getting on drugs in the first place? We need prevention programs, not cure programs. And I tell you, it really hurts me when I see all of these people that are addicted to some kind of drugs and the jobs it creates for people coming from without the city, inside the city, to give treatment. You know what? We have a lot of people that would commit suicide if drug users stopped using drugs and crime went down. They actually make money on crime. Let's stop it. Let's have prevention instead of cure. One of the first things I would do is change the makeup of the Board of Estimates. That is where all the corruption starts, at the Board of Estimates. Now, I want to change the composition. It should be like the state, where you have 3 people, instead of it being controlled by the mayor. We need to change the Board of Estimates. Now, another thing I want to change is the minority set-aside program. We're 70% of the population. How the hell are we going to be minorities? We need to be majorities hiring the other people as minorities. And that'll change if I become mayor. The foster care system is broken. Really broken. we need to have more oversight by the Department of Social Services, visiting people that have foster children and seeing that they're taken care of. Years ago, the elders in the community would turn in people that weren't treating children right. We've lost those elders now. They don't speak up. They don't speak up. Now, someone said something about some of the elders who've been around too long in the elected office, but I want to know who you go to, young folks, when you're in trouble. You go to the elders. When you need some money, you go to the elders. So stop knocking the elders. They have a position in the city. And someone asked me when I said that, yelled out, where are you going to get the jobs? Well, I'll tell you where you're going to get them. The next mayor needs to be an ambassador of goodwill and a salesperson. And that is to go from state to state and get corporations and small businesses to come into the city. Unlike some of the people think, the big business does not provide most of the jobs in this country. It's small business. Therefore, we need a city that has a mayor that's going to help little people get in business and hire some people. Then we need to clean up our city, and we need to stop going around with our hat in hand. You know, these problems, and all of them are laid out, will all be gone if people have jobs.